Hey, what's up? Little impromptu live session tonight. Drew, Minty Man, Joshua Brooks, Randall, Billy. I am in a hotel. Hard at work, as always. Jim, how's it going? Let's see. All right, I'll make my screen bigger so I can read what you guys are saying. Hey, Dave, Ronald. Alan, how's it going? Going to South Carolina, huh, Ronald? What's up, Jeremy? Michael? Oh, it's good. Get some rest, Billy. We won't keep you too late. We'll only chit chat for like an hour or something. What's up, Sterling? Jonathan, how's it going? So I figured we'd, since I was bored anyways, and I was kind of tired of watching YouTube, figured I'd pop in and see what you guys are up to. Able to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on with the trucks and where we're going, what the plan is. Got 35 on, 13 likes. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. What's up, Jonathan? Rochester, New York. Larry? Me too. I actually am pretty happy with that 5EK. I'm a little bit further ahead than you guys have seen, so I won't spill the beans on too much, but I'm pretty happy with that engine. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Mostly motorsport. How's it going? Rochester, New York. Isn't that up by old two-stroker? What's up, Tom? Oh, yeah, Western Star. 07, huh? What model is that, Randall? What's up, Bob? What's up from Massachusetts? How's it going, Emmett? I thought he was from that area, but I can't really remember. You have to look him up on YouTube, and I think it says in his bio maybe. Jonathan, I think that the Freightliner nowadays, I think it's like the Cascadia, Columbia, but FLD used to be the most popular truck in my opinion. Billy is coming right along. Today's video was, is this still Wednesday? It is, right? Probably screwing myself a little bit by going live. It'll probably take away from the video I posted, but today's video we put the engine in Crystal, but I am further along than that. That video is about a month behind. Yeah, Don. Back to work. Ethan, how's it going? Nice, Randall. Hey, Dan. Okay, so man, YouTube is it's kind of an emotional roller coaster, and you invest a lot of yourself uh, into YouTube, and it has these huge spikes in views, and you get a video that does amazing for some reason, and you think, oh man, I'm on my way, and then it levels off and gets average, and you think, okay, it's no big deal. It's not where I thought it was, but then it starts to taper down, and it gets into that little valley that we're kind of hanging out in right now. It gets a little disturbing, but I'm not quitting. Uh, this I'm gonna do YouTube for the whole year, and we'll kind of try and figure out what's going to happen in the future after Christmas this year. Let's see. What's up, Russ? So let's review some stuff about trucks. I know. How's it going, Mark? Sell you the old white. Yeah, man. I don't want to sell that truck yet. What's up, Glenn? I'm going to keep the channel going at least this year. So anyways, I'm going to get distracted. I am ADHD. I see that squirrel go by, and then pretty soon we're talking about it. But let's review. Let's just do a little review. When I first started with the trucks, it was Trisha and Crystal. And Trisha ran, but it wasn't roadworthy. Had broken out headlight panel, needed windshields. The wiring was a nightmare. Had no brakes, junk tires. Marginal transmission, clutch was wore out, and Crystal was a DOA. Had that old A model Cat that supposedly had a skip in it, and that's why they parked it. But so we started off with one truck that ran and one truck that didn't. What did we get next? What was the third truck we got? Candy, right? Yeah. Candy, non-running, engine apart for 6 years, cylinders rusted solid, missing a head. Turbo sat on the back of the truck for 6 years in the weather, locked up solid. Dolores, blown up engine. That was number 4. What was next? Man, what was next? Franny? Yeah. Non-running, abandoned, door open for 10 years. Stuff living in it, huge rats. No wheels and tires, laying over on its side. What was after that? X, blowed up engine, no transmission, no rear diffs, busted out windows, window down for 10 years. What was after that? Betty, blown up engine, busted windshields, dents all over the thing from hauling logs, junk wheels and tires. Good working 15 speed. What was after that? Was Fiona next? I think Fiona. Oh, Marla. Marla, good. You guys are good. Abandoned. Pretty much just haggard out and left to rot. Was it running? Not really. Remember, it had that huge rat's nest or squirrel's nest in the belts, and it took me like half the day to get it to where we could even turn the engine over. What was after that? Fiona. Missing pieces, missing injector lines, transmission half uninstalled, sat for 25 years or more. I think the last license plate on that truck was 89. Yeah. And it goes on and on and on. Junk after junk after junk. Non-running. And then what we got? 13. We grabbed 13 somewhere down the line there. It was a running driving truck. It was one of the only running driving trucks. Yep. Then the L9000. Yep. Blowed up engine. Everything on that truck was pretty much there. Just the engine was split in half from running only water in it and let it freeze. 12. missing pieces, non-running. Somebody had used it as a parts truck. Excuse me. So it was missing all kinds of suspension crap and engine parts and all of that. And Whitney was in between there somewhere. Knew that truck ran, but it had been 18 years or so since he moved it. Sitting there on no wheels and tires, leaning kind of over on its side in the woods, tree growing through it. Man, crazy, right? 13 trucks. And how's it going, Michael? Big Rig Spot, what's up? Johnny Holland, how's it going? Yep, still flying. So let's talk about that. 13 trucks, and 2 of them that ran before I bought them. Like, I knew they ran. I heard the engine run before I bought the truck, right? 2 trucks. So in 3 years, just a skosh over 3 years, and not to mention the first AB92 that I was going to put in the Belvedere. That was junk sitting in a field, had cab cut right off the stupid thing for like 15 years. And so somebody said something to me the other day, and it's actually been a couple of times where, man, it'd just be nice if you'd finish something. And, I get it because, people don't necessarily watch every video, but I have right now on the lot, 13 trucks that you can get in, turn the key, fire the engine up, and 12 of those trucks, you can wait for the air to build, pull a gear, and go for a drive. So 13 trucks, pretty much by myself in 3 years. I feel like that's a pretty good accomplishment. And I tend to not ever take anything personally that people say. And I tend to never, fire back. If somebody insults me, usually I just laugh and say, okay, whatever, stay tuned for more. But, some of those things, they bite a little bit. And so I think I got nasty with the guy today on the comments. And I think I lost 2 or 3 subs because of it. It is what it is. And so anyways, I'm not gonna let that bother me. We're gonna finish doing what I started. And the goal has been for a while, all 13 trucks start, run, drive. So what I need right now is I need a transmission and a clutch for X. And once I have a transmission and a clutch in there, get the drive shaft built and all that necessary stuff to make it stop and move, I'll have 13 trucks that start, run, drive. And that's been the goal from the beginning. So I'm not going to be able to read the chat because it moved a little bit fast and I'm kind of behind. But so I guess the main thing I'm saying is once the trucks are all start, run, drive, we need to put some stuff out on the road to make a little bit of money. Now, I don't know. I think we talked about the trucking company in the last live. I thought I was going to be off work for a few more months. Not much, Steve. We've just been talking trucks and just kind of reviewing what we did from the beginning when we got Trisha and Crystal until where we are now. But nothing, no big news. Nothing that you missed, really. So anyways, as far as the trucking company goes, so I did form an LLC, and it's called Semi Legit LLC. And the way that came about is me and Jessica were talking about something, and some comment had been said, and this was months ago, maybe even a year ago, where I wasn't a good mechanic, or I wasn't this, or I wasn't that, and I said to Jessica, I said, this is BS. So this is the guy. Listen to what this guy said about me, and I said, I am legit. And then I said, well, semi legit. And I was like, dude, that's a great name for a trucking company. So I did form Semi Legit LLC. I did apply for and get my DOT number. I did enlist myself in some drug consortium. And I was planning on putting 13 on the road, pulling logs. Not trying to make, not trying to make a living, just, making a little bit of money back, developing some content that's a little different than just my back while I'm working on something. And then right, it's like as soon as I got all of that done, um, I got my medical back and had to come to work. So the trucking company is still viable. And hey, Dan, how's it going? And I am planning on doing something. And likely it'll be 13 going out first and pulling some logs. Maybe bringing a driver part time, put some drives on 12, get it out pulling some logs. But I'd like to put Jake's on 12 before I do that. Um, and then see where it goes. My goal has been to get an RGN, and I've had a couple of failed deals, um, and it kind of torqued me off a little bit. And then I was like, I'm not even going to get one. But now I really am pursuing getting an RGN because I'd like to be able to. Let me back up a little bit. I want an RGN for one purpose right now, and that is so that I can drive a truck and bring a truck to Matt's next year. I wanted to have a truck at Matt's this year, but with being off work and, then for some reason I thought, well, once I was off work, I'll just do Crystal and it won't be very expensive, but it was super expensive. And so kind of put myself in a tight spot. So I'm planning on being at Matt's this year, but I'm not bringing anything and I won't have a booth. But next year I want to bring a couple trucks. I'd super like to drive Crystal, put another truck on the RGN and have Jessica drive Betty. That I would love for that to happen, but I can't say what Jessica will do or how Betty will be by then. Let me see if I can pop through these. Middle of the Caribbean. Oh yeah. What's up, Darren? What's up, Roger? Rodney? Mark? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, me and Jessica are planning to be at Matt's. We got a place and we're registered, and I think I have the days off. How's it going, Benjamin? So let's see what else. Oh, so 13 right now. 13 was pretty much a roadworthy truck. I had talked to some guys about doing the DOT inspection. They mentioned the leak. I had a little leak on the steering gearbox and a couple other things. And then JP got those tanks beat up. It's got the big tanks on it, and he got them beat up a little bit and some repairs. And I was afraid of those tanks. So the goal was to get the smaller diameter tanks and get rid of the fairings that were on 13, put step tanks on and quarter fenders and, schnazzed up a little bit. And so I'm right in the middle of that. I've got the tanks from Patty, and we need one set of steps. And I've got Johnny came over and took off all the fairings and took off the passenger side tank. And so when I get back from work, I'll throw that tank on. We'll get some steps on there, and I'll get the driver's side tank off, get those steps on, and quarter fenders. And I do have a steering gear, so we'll do that as well. But then 13 needs a DOT inspection, and it's ready to hit the streets. And I've already made some contacts to pull some logs, so we'll see how that goes. It's tough, and I think anybody else who has been a trucker or is a trucker and is an owner operator or has been an owner operator, it's tough to put somebody in your truck. You know what I mean? And so even though I'm not emotionally involved in 13 as much as I am some of the other trucks, it's still going to be hard to just, throw the keys to somebody and go, here, man, take care of the truck like it was your own. Don't drive like a jerk off, and don't get hurt or hurt anybody else. So it's going to be tough for me. So we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, that's for sure, Steve. It's scary. It's a scary proposition. So what do you guys want to talk about? That's pretty much a summary of the crap I wanted to talk about, but what do you guys want to know? I mean, I did mention that the videos you watch are about a month behind. So if you can imagine, uh, I'm quite a bit further on things than what you have seen. So I don't want to really spill the beans on any of that stuff. Um, I can tell you the one thing that's pretty cool. I've only ever had older transmissions like the RTO models, and this have been exposed to this RTLO. And from now on, anytime I do a transmission, it's getting an RTLO. Gonna have to do the same. Right. I get it, Steve. I would love to. Yeah, I wish that I lived somewhere other than where I live. Uh, but anyhow, Minty Man, I do a little bit of teasers on there, but I was doing some, and when the views went way down, and I kind of asked for some input on why you guys thought they were down. There was quite a few people who didn't want me to do teasers on the other social media, so I kind of backed off a little bit. Warren, I can't comment on Jessica's plans. Uh, Even if I knew them, I would be sworn to secrecy, but I do not know what her plans are. What's up, Big Paul? You guys watch. Let me ask you a question. There's a. Wait, Darren, I can't comment on that. Uh-oh. Jessica's in the house. She just answered for you, Darren. Mark, we are thinking about moving to Florida. We were looking in the Panhandle, and now Bruce has moved to Tennessee. So I don't know. Everybody's moved to Tennessee. I don't know why. So we might look at Tennessee, but Jessica wants water, and so it's probably going to be Florida. What's up, Ray? Yep, in the Panama City area, actually, Mark, is where we were looking. Jonathan, there's so many different trucks. It's really if it's not a cab over, it's a conventional, and then if it's got bunk beds and stand up, it's a condo, and I mean there's a million different ones. So you just have to do some. Yeah, George is confused. You have to do some research, Jonathan. Oh, we're doing good, Raymond. Just chit chatting about trucks, killing some time. I tried to move to Canada, Michael, back when ice road truckers was a thing, and I was driving, and I was going to head up there and do the ice road, and so you have to be a Canadian citizen, and so I applied for dual citizenship, and hired an attorney and spent a bunch of money and time, and then Canada told me that I didn't have anything to offer, and so they denied my request. Arizona's nice, actually. I wanted to move to Marana and buy a 747 and build a house out of it. But watching stuff. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this channel that I've recently discovered. And when a YouTuber says, "Hey, go check out my buddy's channel," a few people go over and then you hope that they build a little excitement and then that grows stuff. Well, anyways, I've been watching this channel, and the reason why I've been watching it is because I'm going to do the body work and the paint on Trisha. and I'm kind of freaked out about it. I had Johnny take all of the stuff off the body, and so the things like a shell in the garage. And every time I go in there, I get a little anxiety about it. And so I've been watching this channel, and it's Team Steam, and Steam has got a period in between each letter. So Team Steam, and it's S period T period E period A period M. Team Steam, and man, I'll tell you what. The guy is good. He's been around for a little while. He's got a couple hundred videos out there. Let me just see. His company's name is Flash Industrial Painting. How you watch him? Do you watch him? Did I miss something? Brett, are you talking about Team Steam when you say the guy that does great body work? Yeah, Georgia sucks because you pay 6% state income tax, and then there's a bunch of other ridiculous taxes. So yeah, Florida's free and Tennessee is free. Yeah, I've been down to Hank's place. What's up, Glenn? Okay, so back to Team Steam. So you guys do me a favor and shoot over there and just pick any one of his semi-truck paint jobs and watch. Now he does things a little bit different than I do. He doesn't show like every step of every process that he does, and apparently that's kind of a popular thing. People get bored with watching you do the same crap over and over. But go check out Team Steam. Subscribe, like his stuff, and throw down a little comment saying, "Hey, James Pretty told me to come by." Me and him have been talking a lot. He's been kind of coaching me a lot on what to do with Tricia and how to fix different fiberglass issues and what paints to use and what to stay away from. And he's done body work for like 25 years, and he's amazing at it. And I would really like to convince him that he should do one of my trucks. And I think if he wasn't so far away, we'd probably already be doing something together. Lyle, so we'll use Georgia, for example. When you are a Georgia resident, you pay Georgia taxes, and part of Georgia taxes are they take 6% of your gross pay, no matter where you. Like I work in a Michigan company, and I work mostly overseas, but Georgia takes 6% of my income. So that's a lot of money. Florida and Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax assessment. They say wrongly that but when you pay a state sale or state income tax, you get cheaper property taxes and cheaper insurance and cheaper registration of your vehicle. All of that's ridiculous and wrong. I lived in Florida for a dozen years before coming to Georgia. I've been in Georgia for 5 years, I think now, and it's untrue. The state income tax is just a joke. And then you get people like certain politicians in certain cities in the state of Georgia spending millions of dollars to go partying with their boyfriend. That's all tax money. So that's what I meant by that. But anyways, you guys check out Team Steam. Mm-hmm. JP in the house. Go in your farm. What's happening? Ride-alongs. Yeah, we're going to get more into the ride-alongs. Yeah, that's for sure, Raymond. But yeah, so ride-alongs. Let me turn on light. Is that too much? Oh, it's much better. starting to get dark out. We're going to get more into ride-alongs, and we're going to do more with going places in the trucks. It's been a long couple of years trying to get all these trucks to start run drive, and now that we're closing in on that, we can move along to more interesting content. Now, I told that guy today that kind of cut me crap about not finishing anything. We still need a lot of stuff. Just to go over some things, I need 70 drive tires. I need 8 steer tires. I need 8 windshields, a transmission, 6 exhaust systems, and 9 paint jobs. And brakes on 7 different trucks, and shocks on every truck on the property except for 12 and 13. Every other truck on the property needs shocks. There's 2, 4, 6 shocks on each truck. Let's say 10 of them need shocks. That's 60 shocks. They're about $80 a piece. Bing, bang, boom. Bob's in your wallet. Arizona's nice because the weather's good. A little chilly at night, but Jessica just reminded me of several new interiors. But but anyhow, what I'd really love to do is have the trucks to where I can get in. Oh, and I still need how many batteries? 30 batteries. So I'd like to be able to just grab keys off the key ring, run out there, jump in a truck, run it to town, run it to the car wash, throw some fresh diesel fuel in the thing and take it somewhere. And I'm getting to the point where I can do that with just about every one of my trucks. If I can put 12 and 13 to work, battery tenders. Yeah, for real, Steve. If I can put a couple of the trucks to work and get them out of the driveway and get them earning their keep, at least paying me back for what I've done to the trucks and making enough to buy some tires and maybe put an engine in when you need to, keep the insurance paid, I'd be happy with that. Lyle, that's for sure, right? Like I was talking to somebody, I don't want to spill the beans on that, but I was talking to a vendor the other day, and I told him, I said, I'm if you've checked out my channel, I'm kind of a jack of all, I'm not really a master of any. And he's like, yeah, but you get shit done. He goes, there's people out there who don't even talk about getting shit done. And that's true. And mostly the people who have something negative to say, they're probably the ones who don't even talk about getting shit done. So, Josh, that's an interesting question. And so me and Jessica were talking, we had a package coming. We're like, what's coming in the mail? What did you order now? And I'm like, I didn't order anything. I'm been broke. I'm not buying nothing. She's like, something's coming in the mail. Something's coming in the mail. And, yeah, and we just got it back, and, we'll be highlighting a video on that, soon. Let's see, suspension sponsorship program battery. Yeah, that's for sure. Yep. Thanks, Glenn. Yep, everything's good. I'm diabetic, and diabetes and being a pilot is okay, but there's certain hoops you have to jump through, and so I had to jump through them. So I was off work for a little bit, but everything's good, and I'm back to work. Oh man, I'm not going to say I have a tire sponsor, but I have a tire guy who gives me a pretty good deal. But I would love to have a tire sponsor. You know what? Let's talk about sponsors. I love, with all my mechanical heart, Scott Blue Shop Towels. You know, the ones they're in a cardboard box and they're blue and they're just amazing. And so I have bought 50 boxes of these things since I've been doing trucks. And I reach out every year to Scott Products and I beg them to please. I hate the fact that I have to use old crappy shop rags because I can't use your product because you won't give them to me or give me a break on them. And they tell me the same thing. Well, all of our collaborations are done through an advertisement firm and we have no openings, no new openings, blah, blah, blah. It's like a broken record. And so I really wish that Scott Products would just, give me a dozen boxes a year. It's like $150. You can't give me $150 worth of rags. Come on. But anyhow, it'd be super cool if Scott Products would give me some rags. It'd be super cool if Cyclo Breakaway would have sponsored me because now I use inferior products because I won't use theirs because they were rude about it. And I don't even look. When I ask a company if they want to partner up with me, I don't even ask for it for free. I just ask for cooperation. But yeah, Steve, I don't mess around with steer tires. I get good steer tires, but I do run recaps for drives, and that's because my trucks sit. Now, when trucks go out and start working for a living, they'll be running good drive tires as well. Yeah, Ralph, I wish that was a thing too. Look at that. 93 people on, 93 likes. That's pretty good. I like that. Appreciate you guys. Now start hitting that donate button. 50, 50, 50. No, I'm just playing. But what else? How's it going, Peter? Javier, how's it going? Did I say that right? How much for 13? Man, 13 is getting ready to go to work. I really don't want to sell 13 right now. I'd probably sell 12 right now. Even though, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's say I want $17,500 for a 12, and that's a lot for a 92 FLD with a 12.7. But the truck is really nice, and I just did everything that needed to be done on the truck. Windshields, wiper motor, put a lot of stuff, brakes, bearings, bags, bushings, new steer tires, $1,100 for a pair of steers. Like I put all the stuff in there to make that truck go other than drive tires because I didn't want to buy tires and then just leave it sit for a year. Let's say I sold that truck for 17 grand. Ooh, I have 17,000. Ooh. By the time I put a transmission in X and buy a couple of sets of tires, that money's gone and that truck's gone. And now I don't have that truck to put to work. So I don't really want to sell that truck either. I would sell it, but I don't really want to because I do want to put that truck to work. I'll be going out to JP's trying to get a set of Jakes and some Unimount hubs for a couple trucks. And yeah, I'd like to put those Jakes. I'd like to get some Jakes on 12 and get that to work. UPS got the big raise and 12,000 layoffs. Yep. Right now, cargo is trending down. So there's going to be some weirdness, but then, in a few months, it's going to be right back to crazy. China cargo is hot right now. So yeah, Roger, I'd love to be able to keep them all. And maybe, we'll see what happens this year with YouTube. Thanks, Mark. You guys know that I work with Fleet Pride, right? And I've had a pretty good relationship with them, and we just talked recently. Um, I'm trying to get them to have a booth at Matt's, and also hinted around to the fact that maybe we need to uh, increase my discount for some YouTube advertisement. Well, I hope so, Steve. And like I said, I'd be doing it right now if I didn't go back to work, but I couldn't not go back to work. Um, I mean, being off for a couple months hurt. Yeah, Mark, I'm not doing anything negative with the channel. We're gonna run the channel all year, and I'm gonna put in the work and put in the money, and I'm gonna put in the time, and maybe we can make something happen before the end of the year. That'd be pretty nice. Thanks, Billy. La 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 la. What do you guys want to talk about now? Let's do questions rather than me just blabble off at the head. Let's do questions. Give me a question. Thanks, Roger. 5EK. It's funny because that truck, I didn't think that engine was going to be any good. And I was like, no, it's a 5EK. And then once I saw that it was, I was like kind of excited because I have always wanted one. I don't fly to the Caribbean with this airline. What's up from Newton, Kansas? Nice to see you. Going to buy any trailers? Yes. I'm going to get an RGN. It's probably going to be a 50. Is that a 50 ton or a 60 ton? 50 or 60 ton Kaufman, probably. Yes, I have a Facebook. Um, yeah, Jessica's pretty pumped how that interior turned out really, really good. I can't wait to see it all done inside. What's up from Michigan? Thanks, Aaron. And yeah, that's true. And Mike, that would be pretty fun. Yeah, I could have put an 871 in Crystal Easy, but I'm getting away from two-stroke Detroits. I love, and I say this with a lot of love in my heart. Two-stroke Detroits make zero power. There's a reason why they quit making those things, quit using them. Uh, they're cool. It was my first, and I'll never forget that. And I love having one or two to play around with, but there is no replacement for modern engines. Which trailer? Oh, yeah, I'm not, dude, I don't know how you do it. I'm not humping that neck on and off. I'm not doing it. I don't know how you do it, bro. I'm too old for that. Two strokes turning diesel fuel into noise for far too long. That's so true, JC. And you guys, I'm not trying to, you know, dump on Detroits. I am a two-stroke Detroit guy. I love them. But a guy asked on Facebook the other day, he's like, "Hey, where can I get a 1271 to put in a truck?" And I said, "Dude, are you going to run it or just take it like to the parade and stuff?" He's like, "No, I want to run it." I'm like, "Don't. You're going to be so disappointed that you spent $15,000 or more to put this engine in your truck. And first of all, you're going to go deaf and you're going to go broke trying to feed it oil and feed it fuel, and it's not going to make any power." Um, And Darren, they're great for a generator, and they're great for anything that you can just hold the thing on the wood at its peak horsepower. Absolutely. A mill, generator, water pump, they're great. But in a truck, they just ain't. Yeah, and Mark, it's true. It's nostalgia. What is the final purpose? Marshall, we're just talking about that. We're going to start putting some trucks to work. Um, I used to see me sitting. I know I'm just chilling, bored. Wish I was flying, making some real money, but it's all right. I don't mind sitting in a hotel. .318 Galleon, huh? Fester. Yeah, you know what? A couple other guys are doing pulling trucks, so we may do something like that. I still have the 12V92, and so had to answer a couple text messages. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, Matt, uh, I can't answer that question. There's truckers and trucking companies that make more than a lot of other people, and there's some pilots I know that make a lot more than that. So it's hard to say. Um, yeah, Bob, but Bob, I'm nothing like uh, Bruce. Bruce is a unique dude, and I've said this before. I watch all of his videos. I'm a fan for many reasons. Uh, but I don't. I'm just different than him. Yeah, I'm on a layover, Raymond. Hank and Wiley, they've been, them guys are super busy now. That Wiley's got his own channel. It's even more busy down there. Yeah, I watched Diesel Creek. $13 shit spreader. I love International Harvesters. The first mechanic job I ever had was at a Case IH dealer. I love Internationals. I don't know why I don't have one. Yeah, that's for sure, Steve. Yeah, Bob. Bruce does some crazy stuff for sure. Doesn't always make everybody happy. All right, let me look something up real quick. Jessica's reminding me of stuff. You guys keep on chatting here. I'm going to look up something we're going to talk about. So let me see if I can find it. I might not be able to find it on my phone. Can I find it on my phone? I might ought to be able to. Do. Hey, James Pretty is live right now. It's crazy, isn't it? Community membership. More. Well, I want to shout out the members of the channel, but I can't because I can't access that on my phone. How silly is that? You think we live with this device, and they call it, oh, it's a personal electronic device, and it does so much for you. But then, right when you need it, it drops you. Anyways, shout out to all the channel members. Love to be able to say your names, but I can't. Yeah, TransStars are pretty cool. I like a lot of internationals. Oh, and we were talking about trailers. I do want to get a new. I want to get another drop deck, step deck van trailer like the black one I had. I always have my eye out for them. CVG. I go to CVG all the time. I am not in CVG at the moment. I'm in an undisclosed location. I'll be at Matt's. You'll probably see me. I'll be either with Steve or if Chad gets a booth, I'll be at Chad's for a while. If yeah, probably be at Tim's for a little bit. If Fleet Pride has a booth, I'll be there for a little bit. So I'll be out and about. Yeah, that's true, Bob. I have looked at uh, hopper bottom trailers. Them things are salty. They're expensive, man. Uh, 9300 Eagle. Uh, did I do I have one of those? I don't know. I can't remember what that truck is out there. I'll look there and see. I might have one of those in one of my spots. Yep. All the 777 guys are just chilling at the hotel. That is for sure. I don't need no stinking APU. I just want to listen to that Detroit, that 12.7 Detroit idling all night long, burning up that money. Hey, Jim, how's it going? JC, I agree with that as well. Um, I don't have a heavy haul rig yet. Someday, maybe. Mark, a giveaway truck, possibly the white. Yeah, it's the last thing I said to somebody on Facebook. It's so irritating. People are so irritating. Like, I, I have the Belvedere. It's got a 6V92 and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. You got to admit, it's pretty cool. And so I posted a picture of it. Guys are posting pictures of stuff in the Detroit forums, and I did the groups. And this guy's like, some people shouldn't be allowed to have tools. And this is a prime example of one of those guys who doesn't even talk about getting stuff done, let alone go out there and getting stuff done. And so I said, oh man, come on, just go back to sleep. Oh, he got so mad at me for that comment. He cursed at me. You get used to it, don't you, Jim? You saw Granddad's comment, JC? That's awesome. Uh, what's up, Keith? What part of Michigan? I'm from Michigan. Well, not from there, but I lived there for a long time. Sturgis, White Pigeon, Three Rivers. Ram it. So I'm going to do a giveaway. Let's talk a little bit about that. I don't have anything with me to show you, but I'm going to give away some LED lights pretty soon. We're going to have a little live. We're going to show some stuff. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to come up with a way to do a giveaway, maybe just the people who are at the live. So I don't know how we'll advertise that. Excuse me. But I want to give away the 1-inch lights or the 3/4 inch round lights, and their color change. And I think I've got 24. So we're going to give those away. Anybody who might need those, we'll do something cool. And I do want to give away a truck, but right now, cash is poor right now. So we're going to have to do something. Maybe we'll sell some merch to give away a truck. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to do it off pure subscriptions. But thanks, Jeremy. You meet Mike the truck nut. Yeah, I'll see Mike there. Me and Mike are friends. Not in real life yet, but via the internet. We'll be friends after Matt's in real life. Hello from Decker, Michigan. I don't even know what a Dodge Bighorn is. Whitney will, if I can manage it, Whitney will be finished someday. I think I hate to, but I think I'm going to cut it off and put a modern suspension on. It's already been cut off once, and I don't know. Everybody needs 3/4 inch multicolors. They sure do, JC, for sure. Yeah, Michigan, man. We all like trucks. Everything to do with trucks. All right, Jim. Take care, brother. John, I don't remember what. I think it's. I think the paint that she used on the on Black Betty's interior was VHT interior paint. Victor Hotel Tango VHT, like the engine paint. JC, you're a machine, man. You like that heavy work. I kind of like the fact that it's got Dayton's on it. It's just, I don't know. We'll have to see. That truck, I gotta get the glass replaced because I don't get motivated to work on a truck until it has new windshields. So I got to get new windshields in Whitney, and then get some stripping and some fixing of rust. And I love that truck. It's a cool truck. The engine runs sweet. Yep. I just work on them. I'm an airline pilot for a living. I used to be a truck driver. I've been a truck driver many times in my life, but Dayton's are cool looking. They suck, but they're cool looking. Ramit, we opened with talking about that soon. 13 is going to haul some logs, and probably 12 will do the same thing. I might get Sterling to run some logs when I'm not running them, see how that works out. Yeah, that was a great video, Steve. Johnny's like, you're on fire. Oh, man. Dangerous ass road to be pulled over on, too. Them log trucks go like 100 mile an hour through there. It's scary. Sem products. It would be, Darren. What truck was my first one out of these 13, or my first truck ever? Oh, Jeremy, that thing is so slow. It barely gets out of its own way. Typical Detroit. It sounds cool. It makes a lot of smoke and a lot of noise, but it'll make shit for power. I am going to take that big dump truck transmission out of it, and I'm going to buy there's a conversion kit and run a GM automatic behind it, probably a Turbo 400 or maybe a 4L80E. I don't know. But I think that'll help a lot. Turning that big transmission is just not working well. Oh, JC. Alcoa's on the white. Yeah, they haul ass, man. I think I would say that my corner right there is probably one of the largest crash sites in all of Northwest Georgia. It seems, and I'm surprised I haven't seen anything in 5 years. I run, yeah, I run two, but one is for work and one is for YouTube and my personal. Um, so a W900 Aerodyne, I love that truck. I wanted that gold one that Tim had. I wanted it so bad, and had he not traded it off randomly, I may have traded him Marla for that truck, but he never asked. But that is one of my favorite trucks, and it had one of my favorite engines in it. And I hate to even call Red Top N14 one of my favorite engines, but that I had a T2000 with a Red Top 525, and man, that thing was amazing. Of course, it was turned up, so I mean, any engine that's turned up is always amazing, right up until you're rebuilding it every year instead of every 5 years. John, have we ever talked about your name? Looks familiar. Have we ever talked about you coming and doing body work? Yeah, that gold one. I love that truck. Oh yeah, I guess they do. Sterling. I mean the old school guys still come by me, but I guess they do. Most of them do go the other way because I probably only see 10 log trucks a day, and I bet when that was my granddaddy's bait and tackle shop, I bet I saw 150 log trucks a day on that road, and every one of them had a two-stroke Detroit. Will do, Mister E. So we're not slow. Here's what happened. Um, we bought a bunch of new airplanes, and then they hired a bunch of people for the new airplane, and then the new airplane has not come yet. And so we just have a lot of people, a lot of trained pilots on the payroll, and not enough airplanes for us all to fly. So we're not slow. We're just as hopping as we've always been. We're just we just have a lot of pilots waiting for these new 300s to get here. I think we're waiting on 7 airplanes right now. Um, Mostly wanted to put a truck to work because I have all these trucks. I need to do something with it. You know, man, you get what you pay for, Steve. And if you start hiring the wrong people and paying the wrong money, and then they start not putting bolts in, and you lose the door on your airplane, and it's just not cool. So Boeing needs to get their head out of their ass. Boeing is America, and we need them to get back to being on top. Peter, I actually, these guys have these V8 cats. They think they've got like $1 million. There's nothing. I mean, I love the 3408, the DI engine, uh, but they're not worth $25,000. We're out, and these guys all think they've got this $1 million truck because it's got a V8 cat in it, and I'm not going to do it. I like them. I like the idea of them, but they're really no better than a Detroit, and so I don't know. Thanks, Sammy. I'm sure it was made in Seattle. Yep, still fly cargo. Yeah, me too, Steve. I want a 3412. Christopher, right now I'm just buying and working on my own. Yeah, Bob, that's the way it's going. We farm out our stuff to every other country but our own. Oh, babe. Um, so if money wasn't an issue, um, man, I would probably stretch the front of some conventional and stick a 12V92 in there, turn it up to the moon, and have two sticks in there. I don't know. It'd be crazy. As far as operating, man, I don't have any big dreams about the trucking company. I just want to move some logs around. I think they look cool. Yeah, I've seen that too, Steve. Oh, Sean Gallagher retracted a message. And that's true, Peter. I have that 12V92 though, and it is going to go in something eventually. I love the way that thing sounds. I got to find all the parts that I took off of it, thinking I was never going to use it, and try and get that thing back together. I have a '69 Chevy van. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I think it was in some of my early videos, maybe in the background, but I have a '69 Chevy van. I'd love to put that 12V92 in the middle of that thing and make it ridiculous. And I will do that someday. Yeah, I grew up around military vehicles. Um, but I remember at my granddaddy's house, which is my house right now, listening to all the log trucks go by all day, every day, with Detroit singing in them. And that's kind of why I got that love of Detroit. Yeah, V drive for sure. My brother said that. I said, "Man, get up here and help me put this 12V92 in this old Chevy van." He's like, "I'm not doing it unless it's a V drive." I said, "Dude, we can do a V drive, a X drive, whatever kind of drive you want to do." But yeah, V drive like the boats, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Sean, and my 12V92 is 950 horsepower, and I think I think it's got 9215s in it. So I don't know what is bigger than that. 9220s, 90. I don't know what's bigger than that, but I know you can have injectors made. But it would just be super cool. Bryant, not one offer on Marla. Tim wants it really bad, but he don't want to come off the money. Uh, he's spending as much money as he can to grow his businesses, and I don't blame him. He doesn't need a $65,000 cab over. Plus, I would hate to have him get it and then sell it. You know, but Mr. Jeepers Creepers. Thanks, bro. See if you can afford it. You don't want that thing anyways. I'm going to tell you what. Let me break the news to you guys right now. What did you give the love for old trucks? Uh, Man, I don't know. I just love them. Okay, I got sidetracked with that question, but check it out. Listen to this. This is what I'm going to do with Marla. If I don't sell Marla pretty soon, what's up, Steve? I am going to motor swap that thing. Uh, exactly. Exactly, JC. I'm gonna motor swap it, and people are gonna hate me for it, but I'm gonna pull that old whooped out, no power having noisemaker Detroit, and I'm gonna put a 14-liter Detroit with about 1,500 horsepower in there, and I'm talking about a real 1,500. Like I'll put it on the dyno and make 1,500 horsepower. There's this guy uh, that I ran my mouth to on the internet, and like he was talking about having 1,500 horsepower, and I was like, dude, okay, and my truck makes 2,000 horsepower. I can say whatever, blah, blah. Anyways, I ran my beak to this guy, and he wheeled out some slips, and he has got a badass. I think it's a classic with like 1,700 horsepower. And when he showed me some videos of it on the dyno, I need it. I need it because that's the way I am. Christopher, a lot of people are doing that, and I dig it. I dig it. Have you seen my Belvedere, the 6V92? I mean, I'm a Detroit lover. Uh, but yeah, so if I don't sell, yeah, that's exactly it, JC. I was like, because most people, and you know, I guess I've been accused of it before, but most people talk a bunch of shit about how much horsepower their engine makes when it doesn't, because they either just want it to and they haven't got it there yet, or they just have no idea what 2,000 horsepower really is. And so when somebody starts talking shit about having 2,000 horsepower out of a modern Detroit, and it makes me laugh because you got to spend a ton of money and time and to make something like that. And so I ran right out there and was like, whatever, dude. I mean, probably makes 800. And he got really mad, and I was like, poking the bear. And yeah, he was right. He really does have it. And after seeing that, I want it. Yeah, we're going to Matt's. I think I have the time off work. We already have a place up there. We already registered, and we are going. We won't have a booth. We'll just be wandering around. So have to catch me at wherever Tim is, or wherever Steve is, or wherever Dominique is, or wherever Chad is. I'll be nearby one of them. Yeah, yeah, JC, that's for sure. And you know what? He hauls with that truck. It's not just a truck that he puts on the dyno. He hauls freight with that truck. And that was another thing I said he was lying about, and he's not. Yeah. Bad thing about cat motors, and that's what kind of scares me a little bit about Crystal, is they're crank breakers, and not just hopped up ones. They are crank breakers from hell. And if you do some research, some people say it's just these series or these years, but dude, they break cranks, and I don't really want to break a crank in Crystal, but Crystal's not going to be stock. Um, um, Crystal's probably going to be a 600 horsepower tune, which requires injectors and a turbo and some other stuff. I did switch the balancer. I don't know if that was on this video, if it's on the next video or the one after, but the 5EK 435 has the two-piece balancer, and that thing's a piece of crap. It's not a balancer. It's a damper. Uh, and I did put the fluid damper on it, so it's got the damper for 600 horse, and it's got uh, the pistons and stuff for 600. It just doesn't have the turbo or injectors. And cat injectors are crazy, ridiculous expensive. $500 a piece. Wow. So I'm gonna have to, just suck it up and do it. Jeez, you know how much that thing is, Steve? That thing's like $80,000. I was watching your video the other day that I actually about it because I was searching for C16 stuff, and your video popped up, and then I clicked on the link from that guy, And I think it was $80,000 for that engine. And I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's true, JC. He knows, and he don't leave it turned up. Dude's got the switch on the dash, he don't leave it turned up at 1500. But people that know him on the roads, uh, he's probably running, you know, 900 plus wheel horsepower while he's loaded. And he knows how to watch gauges and he knows what he's doing, I'm sure, because you don't build that without knowing those things. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that, Steve. Later, Glenn. Uh, the after coolers are super expensive. You know that one that was cracked in Evelyn's engine uh, is like $2,400, and I got one from JP that was just sitting out in a pile, and it saved me from having to buy a new one or trying to rig up the end tanks on the one that was cracked. I would never do another after cooler. If I ever need an after cooler, I'm putting an intercooler on it. Yeah, small cam 350 can easily do 500. Yeah, big cams are they're a pretty good engine. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. What's up, Adam? Why don't you put an intercooler on the thing, Steve? Get you get you get you an intercooler. Come on, you can make that thing work. Get a new top tank for the radiator that's smaller, and then have somebody make you use a Garrett core. Have somebody make you an over the top and plumb it up. You're watching from Blaze. Sup, Ramon? Raymond, Dave, what's up? Yeah, for sure, JC. Yeah, Marlo's a good truck. I uh I like Marla. I want to sell it because that's enough money that I could recoup some of my investment, and that would be nice. Jessica would appreciate me putting that back in savings. But yeah, I if I keep it, if it doesn't sell this year, and it should probably sell before I get the money to do what I want to do, because or it's not even that. When I find the actual serial number engine that I'm looking for, if I find that and buy it and I still own Marla, it's going in Marla. And I hate to ruin a perfectly good truck, but that's the way it is. KT19's overrated, and all the good ones got blown up from all the tractor pulling guys, truck pulling guys. I can't believe somebody hasn't tried to buy it. I have at JP's. It's not mine. It's JP's. There's a NTC 475 sitting in a Peterbilt that needs to get used somewhere. I think it's got a broken crank, but um, be a really good engine to put in something fancy. The Air Force truck, that's a good truck. It's a good looking truck. It's got a nice paint job, 6V92, makes a lot of noise. It's got Jakes on it. Perfect truck for Braxton. He won't, when he gets old enough to drive, he won't drive that truck very long before he's got something crazy wicked, because you guys know how Tim is, and Braxton takes after him already, you can tell. So he'll drive that truck for a little bit and then he'll get something crazy. See you later, Glenn. Steve, she's coming along with him. she's got a lot of stuff to get done in there. So she works on it when she has time. It should be another video coming out pretty soon, I think. I don't go live very often. I should go live once a week, but it's sporadic. Once a month, once every 2 months. I only went live today because I was bored, and I try not to go live when I just release a video because I think it takes away from the video's performance. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. I might not make this. I might not make this live into a recorded video that people can watch afterwards. I haven't decided. Yeah, Tim is a bad influence. Such a good dude, though. Tim's pure inside, believe it. He's a he's a businessman and a father uh, and a husband. He's a good dude, really is. Cares about his family. Yeah, I agree with that, Steve. I'm glad, Vance. And not that you've been sick, but I'm glad that it's been helping you get through the boredom. Hopefully, you get better soon, huh? I'm slouching. Sorry. Yeah, if you go to Matt's, Tim's booth is super busy. Last year he didn't breathe much, believe me, and I think he's twice as big as he was before last year. So it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, Christopher, I do everything. Yep, I do everything. I'm a jack of all, master of none. I know I've said this a few times, but I grew up restoring military vehicles, and which is kind of why I don't like restoring vehicles now, is because all that tedious final make it look good stuff I was never good at, and my dad uh, could have at sometimes was not a very nice person, so I don't like to do that crap. But I'll do frame up builds. I just don't want to paint anything. I wish if I was home right now, I'd show you something cool that I got from SH Tube lately. Um, and I think SH Tube's going to do a grill for me for Fiona. If you guys don't watch SH Tube, check him out. Um, he makes all kinds of fancy stainless products. What's up, David? That's cool, Steve. So, Christopher, I do paint. Um, the things that I painted were like 50 military vehicles. Olive drab and camo. I was really good at camo. Uh, and I painted a Ford Ranger. I painted a Ducati 748. I painted a lot of stuff. I'm not good at it. I don't like to do it, and I don't know anything about it, but I do it. Yeah, I saw that, JC. Pretty cool. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Mike. Mike, where are you exactly? All right, babe, I'll talk to you later. Jessica's leaving. Yeah, JC, isn't it crazy I mean, man, 10 grand or even more. If you get the frame done and painted as well, it's like 20,000 bucks. I can't do it. I mean, I could do it if I had one truck, but you know how that goes. The triple's fine. I actually like it better than the 7.4. I never thought I'd say that, but you'll see us there, Steve. We'll be doing the same normal stuff. Yeah, and I would never wrap a car. I think it's cool, but it's like 6,000 bucks to wrap a car. I don't. I just don't know. Trisha, I'd really like to sell Trisha. I'd love to sell Trisha before I paint it because I know what how much work it's going to take. You know, there's those rock dents in the back of the cab. You're gonna have to fill every one of those. I got a ton of fiberglass repair to do, and try and lay out those stripes. Oh man, gives me anxiety thinking about it. Yeah, that's pretty nice. 9,000, David. You should just come buy it from me. Make you a good deal on it. Steve, there's nothing wrong with rattle can in your frame. If you looked at Marla's frame, you'd be like, wow, that thing is so amazing and clean. Rattle can. We did a good prep though. The frame wasn't rusty, so that was nice. And we wire wheeled it all down to bare metal. And so it is really clean, but it's just, yeah, I never flew the 7.6. Always wanted to. Steve, there's a truck almost identical to Johnny Cash in my spot. Come get it. It's cheap, and I think it's got a big cam in it. Might have a small cam. Oh, Brigadiers. The Brigadier was yeah, the Brigadier was the first combination truck I ever drove. 318 Detroit. Yeah, I don't have the rusty frame problems, JC. I'm glad I don't because I would probably have bought a huge blasting setup, and that's the last thing I need. Really, what, Raymond? Ramon? Yeah, paint's ridiculous. $3,000 for if you're gonna do a good paint, like a multi-step paint, you're just spend 3,000 bucks easy. All right, Roger. We'll see you. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Steve, I did that needling. I needled all of Trisha's frame and I painted it. And within a month, there was rust bubbles coming. And I asphalted after I needled it. I don't know what I did wrong. And Mark, I do have some pretty cool trucks. I admit it. Thank you. All right, Richard. Thanks for coming, brother. Nope, never been in Metroliner. They don't look good. They don't. That's that one with the really narrow fuselage, right? Marla's frame is rattle can. Yep. And that paint is Ace Hardware brand rusty metal paint, and it's amazing. It is really hard. It gets super hard, like it's almost like as hard as powder coat. It's pretty amazing for spray paint. And I just stumbled on it. I needed some paint, and I didn't have what I normally use. And I went to the hardware store, and I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty cheap. We'll see if it works." I love it. Well, I don't know. Are you sure you can use metformin and Ozempic? I thought it was single. I thought it was only one medication. Make sure you check that out for sure, and don't let your doctor defer your medical. Get all your stuff around for it, and then get it submitted electronically to the FAA, and then after a couple weeks, go get your medical and see if your AME can call the doctor of the day and get uh, a verbal authorization. Otherwise, it could be months and months and months. I'd have to look at that, Steve. Doing good, Ronnie. If you've never had a CDL before, I'd recommend going to a real CDL school, and then get a job with a company that will put you with a instructor for a while and get your feet wet. There's a lot with trucking, even that I don't know because I've been out of it for so long. So if you're just going to get into it, you should do it right. Really, Peter? I never knew that. There's a lot more to trucking than just holding on to a steering wheel. So I just recommend that you do it right, And then the things, if you go to a good school, and I can't recommend one. If you go to a good school and then you go to a company that puts you with a company instructor for a month or something, and you take the things that he teaches you about pre-trips and all that stuff, and you continue to do that, you'll be a good trucker. Too many people just go out there and jam out a weekend and get their CDL, and then they don't know much about it. Yeah, they still use Imran. Brent, let me look at what you're saying here. Old white GMC Volvo in the background. What color is it? Dark blue? Was it dark blue? Is that a white? I think it is. Yeah, that's for sure, Darren. I don't think Imran paint's super expensive. I mean, you're going to pay a few $100 for paint no matter what, I think. Um, I'm no paint guy. Don't ask me paint questions that you really need a good answer for, because I'm not a good source for that. Yeah, that's good information, Sean. Mark. Hey, Lester, how's it going? I'm looking to see if I missed anybody else. Sometimes this chat goes by really fast, like it hangs and then It's all new, so sometimes I miss stuff. Yeah, that's true, JC. You know, back in the old days, uh, you had to. It wasn't a job that people just grabbed out of the blue. They grew up in trucking, or it was their first gig. Have a good night, Adam. Crazy, Peter. Well, what do you think, guys? It's been about an hour and 40 minutes. Maybe we should chop this thing off. I done run out of stuff to talk about. Unless you guys got any more pressing questions, maybe we should do it. Yeah, this is true. Hey, Sal, we're just about closing up this chat. We will, Mark. The fact that there is a DOT blitz should be illegal. I'm just saying. Why don't they do their job every day like they're supposed to? And then maybe they could fix the problems. Having a blitz that everybody knows about makes no sense to me. See you, Peter. See you, James. Jeremy. That's right, Steve. Shut him down. David, we'll see you soon, man. Dun, dun, dun. Big rig spot. Yeah, I'll have one beer with you. I'm not a big drinker, but I'll have a beer with you, Steve. Good night, Bryant. See you, Darren. Later, Brent. Chester and Angel. Night. Sean, we'll see you. That's true. Yeah, Ronnie, you got to get those things home, man. Night, Michael. Night, Warren. I don't know when Sal's coming over, or when JC's coming over, Sal. JC's a busy guy, got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see how it turns out. I might have went ahead and done it without him. Night, Sammy. Am I bringing you what? Man. I mean, if I had a trailer to pull behind my truck, I might could. You need to come down. I know it's a long way, but you need to come down. You need to get that box truck and a bunch of other stuff. Get some of them Cummins motors from JP. Night, Keith. All right, guys, I'm out. We'll see you later on.